Okay, I believe we are live. We are live on StreamYard today, Tuesday. Today is 4:05 p.m. Eastern. I'm about 5 minutes late. I apologize. Always having tech issues here in the office that I just can't figure out because we're all virtual right now and I don't have anybody here at the office. Nobody could help me but myself trying to figure out the situation. All right, so today we're going to spend the next 25 minutes covering an extremely important subject if you want to sell more and get rid of a lot of objections. Today, I'm going to give you 3 questions. Actually, I'm going to give you more than 3. I'm going to give you like 5 or 7 questions that you must learn to ask your prospects to get them to start thinking results-based thinking rather than price or cost-based thinking. So if you're getting a lot of objections like, we can't afford it, I need to think it over, I need to get more quotes, I need to keep looking around at some other companies, or, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that. Especially if you're getting, I need to think it over. Can you send me references? I need more quotes from other people. If you're getting those objections, it's because you don't know what questions to ask to get your prospects to think results-based thinking over price or cost-based thinking. Because if you're getting them to think results and price-based thinking, they are just going to chew you down and haggle you down on price, or they're going to say they don't have the budget or the funding because it looks like another bill or expense for them rather than getting them where they want to be. So I'm going to show you the difference in that. Make sure I'm going to be on here on my phone as well. Okay, so we are live right now. All right, perfect. Now, if you're brand new to this Facebook group, so we're going live right now in the Facebook group Sales Revolution. We're also going live on YouTube as well. So if you're on YouTube and you haven't joined our Facebook group, I'm going to have someone in our team, maybe Chris or Valerie or Luke, post in here the Sales Revolution Facebook group. You can join it for free. We go live in there 3 to 4 to sometimes 5 times a week with different tips, different trainings, different Q&As to help you sell anything, products, services. Doesn't matter the industry. We are training hundreds of different industries at this point. It's kind of crazy. Industries I didn't even know existed out there. It's crazy to think about. Now, if you're brand new to the Facebook group, let's say you joined today or yesterday or whatever, you haven't seen me on YouTube yet, I am the founder and chairman of a company called Seventh Level, okay? And we're a company that helps sales professionals exactly like you. So we help sales people, we help coaches, we help sales executives, management, and business owners, entrepreneurs, both small and large cap, all the way down to SMB, transform the way you and your team sell by learning specific skilled questions and techniques that work with human behavior rather than work against it. What do I mean by that? We're going to cover some of that today. Those are known as neuro-emotional persuasion questions with the right tonality that put your prospects at ease, eliminate sales pressure. Can you imagine that? And get your prospects to actually open up to you, to want to engage with you, to actually want to be open and tell you what's really going on from the questions you ask, and eventually persuade themselves that they want what you're offering. Now, if you want to know more details about all the different training programs that we have for our clients, just like you've seen probably hundreds of testimonials every single month in this Facebook group we're in right now. We have over 3,400 different client testimonials from the last 2 years. I don't know anybody else that has anywhere close to that, even 10% of that. In the comments section, if you want to learn how to sell more of your products and services like other clients of ours that are going through the training right now, in the comments, post hashtag NEPQ. So in the comments section, post hashtag NEPQ, and either myself or someone on our team, maybe Matt Ryder, our CEO, or somebody else on our team will message you more details to see if we can help you as well. Now, if you're on live right now, before I start, I'm going to hold you all hostage. If you're on live right now, I want you to go to the comments section. I want each of you to go on your phone right now. I'm not going to start till you do. Go down to the comments section, and I want you to post hashtag live. So on your phone, go down to the comments section, post hashtag live. I'm not starting until all of you do that, and there's a reason why I'm going to have you do that. So in the comments section, go post hashtag live. Go post hashtag live if you're on live right now. And if you're on the replay, watching this later today, I want you to post hashtag replay. So if you're on live, post hashtag live. If you're on the replay, I want you to post hashtag replay. Go ahead and do that right now. Now, each of you right now, I also want you to get on the phone, your phone right now, and I want you to go down to I want you to smash the heart button several times. So I'm going to have each of you smash the heart button. So go, you know where the little heart and the like sign is on your phone? smash the heart button at least 3 or 4 times each. I want each of you to go there. I'm not starting to each of you do that right now. And I want each of you to smash the like button. I am not starting. I'm not going to give you guys these questions until each of you go down, smash the heart button, smash the like button several times. I'm not starting. I see some of you doing it. Half of you are not doing it. Smash the heart button, smash the like button. The reason why we have you do that is because it builds more engagement in the group. We're able to reach more people in the group, which more people in this group are going to hear this training, and they're going to be able to sell more of their products and services as well, which I want you to help everybody else. You can't be selfish. All right, so today, here's what we're going to cover. Like I said, I'm going to give you 3 questions. Like I told you right when you came on, I'm actually going to give you more. I'm going to give you about 6 or 7 different ones, probably even more than that. They're going to get your prospects to think results-based thinking over price or cost-based thinking. Now, these are called, some of these questions I'm going to give you are called solution awareness questions. Now, if you're in some of our training programs, if you're an NEPQ 2.0 member and you've got the portal, if you're an NEPQ Advanced 3.0 member, you've got the advanced portal, you've got all the extra training content, you're on the advanced training calls we do as groups with our sales trainers every week to retain all the information you're learning, or if you're in the advanced inner circle, you already know all about solution awareness questions. If you're not, you're losing sales that you could be making if you're not in those programs. But let me go over this with you. Research shows that top salespeople ask far more solution awareness questions as opposed to salespeople who are just average, okay? And I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you must use solution awareness questions in your sales process. Number 1, write this down. Your prospects are going to tell you what they see as the benefits and advantages of them solving their problem with you. That's the first reason. Number 2, you're going to get an understanding of how your prospects think and what they're prepared to do about their situation, if anything, because maybe they're not prepared to do anything at all. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Number 3, their ideas will become part of the solution as they start to own their own problems, and they'll tell you how the changes are going to make them feel. I'm not kidding when I say that. Even CEOs of big banks were able to do that, okay, with some companies that we train, cybersecurity companies that we train. They'll start to see in their own mind what their future is going to look like or what their objective state's going to look like once all of these problems are solved and they get the results that they're after, okay? They then will attach their emotions. Let me repeat that. They're then going to attach their emotions to that outcome of them solving their problems and actually getting where they want to be or what they want. They're going to start to see in their own mind that it's far more risky for them to do nothing at all, staying in the status quo, and nothing ever changes, than it is for them to get the money or the funding or the budget together to purchase your solution to get them the results they want and solve their problems. Which is more risky? Okay. So that's an overview. Now I'm going to give you some specific questions. Now what I'm going to do, so I actually wrote all this out for you guys today. I actually spent an hour of my time this morning. I got up really, really freaking early for you guys, and I actually scripted this out in a couple of different industries so you guys could actually see the difference here. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen in a second so you can visually see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 different examples of what a sales conversation would look like at this stage. Now, we're not going to talk about the beginning of the conversation. That would be connecting questions. We're not going to talk about the first part of it, which would be situation questions that find out their situation of what's really going on. We're not going to go over problem awareness questions and what problems they have and the root cause of the problems and how the problems are affecting them. This would all be before that. What I'm scripting out for you right now is just some solution awareness questions to get them to focus on their objectives or their results, to get them to think results-based thinking over price-based thinking. Nothing before that. This is just a tiny part of that sales conversation I'm going to show you today. If you miss everything else, this isn't going to be as powerful, okay? But this is going to help you once you put the pieces together, all right? Now, many of the questions are going to be the same no matter what the situation is. Some are going to be different. It just depends on your industry that you're in. But the formatting of the questions is going to be very similar, whether you sell B2C or B2B. There's just some tweaks that are going to be here and there. Okay, so keep in mind, sometimes you're going to ask more or less of these solution awareness questions. It just depends on the answers your prospects are giving you. Okay, so the example I'm going to give you, the first example I'm going to give you, then I'm going to give you another example. This first example would be, I'm going to show you the script on this, is if you sold network marketing or you sold franchises or you sold some type of coaching or training, or if you sold businesses opportunities, or if you sold real estate investing or Amazon education, anything like that. I just scripted that out. I'm going to give you another script in a completely different industry, and you're going to see, wow, those are two completely different industries, but the structure is very, very similar. I'm going to show you that right now. Okay. Now, of course, we're not going to go over connecting questions. Like I said, situation questions or problem awareness questions here. So let me pull up my screen and I'm going to share this with you. All right. Let's see, share screen. All right. We're going to come up here to the window and we're going to boom. I'm going to share the screen here. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. Can everybody see that? I'm assuming you can. Okay, perfect. All right. So I scripted all of this out for you. You guys are lucky. All right. So let me start here. Okay. Solution awareness questions. Here's what we're going to do. Make sure you pay attention as much as you can here for the next 15 minutes. Now, this is towards the middle to the end of the sales conversation on that first call. Doesn't matter if you sell B2C, B2B. It'll be a little bit different at the end. It's going to be different here depending on your industry, but I'm going to show you two different examples so you can see how close these are in two completely different industries. So your first solution awareness question, to get them on the path to think results-based thinking with this. Now, realize this. This would be an example if you sold network marketing or franchises, or if you sold business opportunities or real estate investing advice or coaching or Amazon training or coaching or anything like that. This is what those examples would look like. I want you to look at how that would look for your industry as well. Then I'm going to give you the second example. Okay. So realize in these type of industries that I'm going to go over right now, their main problem is they want to make more money and they want to have more time with their family. So they're looking at some type of vehicle to get them that, whether it's, investing in real estate, whether it's starting an online business on Amazon, whether it's an affiliate marketer, whether it's a franchise, doesn't really matter. Okay. It's very similar here. So John, before we started talking, were you out there looking for businesses that you could start to make more money, or what were you doing about finding your own business? Now, why would I want to ask that first? Look here. It helps your prospects see, okay, what you see what they've done about changing their situation or anything. That's what it shows them. Now, let's say the prospect says this. Well, I've tried another business I found online, but I didn't really make much money from it. You're going to say, okay, so I'm curious, what held you back from having success though? You need to find out why they didn't have success in that. Okay. Now, you want to ask this question so they can not only can you find out, but they can find out why they didn't have results. So you'll know how to better frame your solution. Okay. Let's say the prospect says this. Well, I just felt like they didn't train me enough. And then you're going to say, because you have to clarify, you don't know what that means. Oh, hold on. What do you mean by they didn't train you enough? Now, what is that? That's an NEPQ clarifying question. You have to ask a clarifying question here, as you don't really know what that means. You don't know what that means to them. You don't know what that means at all. It could mean completely something different to them compared to the next prospect you talk to. Then they tell you, well, I did what they told me to do, but it didn't seem like it would really work for me. Now, you need to find out what that means, okay? Because if you sell something similar, like you're selling a business and they had this concern, do you think they're going to have the same concern about what you're going to offer them at the end? You bet they will. So you have to help them overcome that concern in this part of the sales process. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of objections at the end. They're going to have the same fear that it's going to happen to them. They're not going to purchase what you're buying. Prospect says, well, I don't know. It just didn't really seem to work with me. Okay. So were there other people in the business doing well with it? Well, yeah, I think there was for sure. So if there were others in that business making money, what do you think prevented you from having the same results then? Now, why would I ask that question? Because by asking this, you're going to get them to tell themselves the real reason why they didn't have success. Maybe it was because of themselves. Maybe it wasn't anybody else's fault. Maybe they didn't commit to put in the work to actually have success in the business. If you don't get them to admit this to themselves, then they're more than likely going to have the same objections, the same concerns about what you're going to offer them when you go through your presentation. Okay. Now, there might be a few times that maybe they got into something that really was bad. And, that's not going to be relevant. For the most part, if they have that objection right there and you're selling that type of industry, you're going to have to help them over that concern. Okay. Well, a lot of times people will say this, well, I don't know. I didn't have the time to really focus on it. So now they've admitted to themselves They didn't have success, not necessarily because of the other business they started, but because of who? Because of them. So that helps them overcome that concern. Okay. Okay. So the training, and then you would say, okay, so the training and support is important to you then. Now, why would I say that? That is called a probing statement. And it implies what? It implies that you have the training and support already. Like that's just a given that your company already does that. Okay. So if I say, okay, so the training and support's important to you then, that implies that you already do that. If I said this, oh, well, that would never happen here. Our training's the best and our support's so good. You're never going to have to worry about all that. Well, that's just going to go do what? It's going to go in one ear, out the other, because that's what every other salesperson selling them something similar has always told them. And even the company they were with before probably told them that, and it didn't happen. So if you say the same thing, guess what happens? They become more skeptical and even more cautious, and they trust you less. Okay. So instead of saying like, oh, well, we have the best this, we have the best that, you just make a probing statement. Okay. So the training and support's important to you then. Just implies that you already have that. Okay. Oh, yes, it's very important, the prospect says. And then you might ask him, anything else you're looking for in your own business? Well, I'm looking for something where I can create my own schedule. I can do this, I can do that. And then you're going to say this. Okay, but hold on. Creating your own schedule. Why is that so important to you now, though? Why would I ask that question? You see, that's an NEPQ probing question that helps build urgency in their mind on why they want to change now, not down the road. That helps them build urgency in wanting to do something now, not think about it. When they start telling themselves why they have to change now, it's almost impossible for them to get to the end and be like, I think I'm just going to come back to this in 3 months when it's better timing. They just can't say that because they've already told themselves why they have to do it now. They only told themselves from your questioning. If you didn't ask those questions, they would never tell them that. It would never build urgency. Okay. Prospect says, well, it's important because I don't feel like I get enough time with my 2 little girls, and I feel like the babysitter's raising them more than I am. Ooh, what did we just find out? Another problem. She feels like she doesn't have any time with her kids now. Okay. Now you've not just found one problem, but now you find a second problem. Makes you even more valuable in their mind. Okay. And they're reliving the pain now. Do you see what's going on? Well, hold on. How long has that been going on, though? That's a probing question. Over the past 6 years. So not seeing your girls like that for the last 6 years, has that had a impact on you? Second probing question. Notice how I paused. Has that had a impact on you? Why would I pause there? Why wouldn't I just say, has that had an impact on you? Because that's a knee-jerk question, and they're going to give you a knee-jerk reaction. They're not going to think about it. When I pause there, has that had a impact on you? It causes them to think deeper about the question I'm asking. It helps them relive the pain, helps them build more of a gap in their mind from where they are compared to where they want to be. What's the gap? All these problems that you're helping them clearly see in their mind that they have. You don't help them see it by telling them, because that's going to go in one ear after the other. They don't believe you. You're trying to sell them something. Your questions allow them to tell themselves. That's the difference in the way you're selling now compared to NEPQ. And that's why you're getting so many objections. That's why you're losing sales you could be making if you knew NEPQ, if you understood the whole puzzle. That's why you're losing money every week. All right. Prospect says, oh, for sure. It just makes me feel like a bad parent. Now, if you want to spend more time here, you could even probe off that statement. You could say, bad parent. What do you mean by that? Now, if you've already probed a bunch, though, you don't want to overdo it, though. You don't want to over probe. It just depends on where you're at. But you could probe off that. You could say, bad parent, what do you mean? Or how do you mean by that? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, and they're going to relive more pain. Okay. Now, you can say this. Okay. I see what you meant by that. Now, tell me about the income, though. You had mentioned that you wanted to make more money. And as you know, when you work for someone else, sometimes you're, fairly limited on what they're going to want to pay you. Without that limit, what would you want to make in your own business? Like what would be like your ideal income? Let's say annually. What would you really want to make? You see, this is a loose awareness question to get them to tell you and see what their future is going to look like once their problems are solved. See how you're getting to think results-based thinking over cost or price-based thinking. If your solution costs 15 grand, but it's going to make them an extra 200,000 in income next year, well, that 15 grand seems pretty cheap. You see, because you're getting them to think results-based thinking over price-based thinking, okay? Let's say if the prospect came back and said, well, I think if I could make around 150K a year, I'd be happy. Okay, so between what you and your spouse make together now, how close are you to making like 150,000 every year? Oh, I'd say we're about halfway there, about 75,000 a year, Jeremy. Okay, so if you stay in that job and just be real with me, but realistically, how many years would it take you before you yourself are making 150,000 every single year just yourself? Now, why would I compare that? That's an NEPQ question that compares where they are compared to where they want to be. They're only at 75 grand a year. They want to make double that. They're basically going to tell you and tell themselves that if they stay in what they're doing, there's no way they can ever get that. Is that something you want them to admit to themselves? Yes, because now they see where they are. And if they do nothing, it's far more riskier than for them to get the money together to get what they want, which is more risky. See how they're telling themselves that it's far more risky to do nothing. The problems don't change and they stay in the status quo is far more risky than them to buy your solution and get them what they want. They're telling themselves that. I'm not telling them that. Oh gosh, I would never be able to do that. The prospects. Okay, so let's say that we're able to help you get up to this 150-year range like we do for other clients. Many of them even make more than that. Now you're talking about doubling your income. What would you do with the extra money coming in though? Now that's a logical based question. They're going to tell you, oh, I would buy a new home for my kids. I would quit my job. I'd get out of debt. All logical. Do people make decisions on logic or emotion? 100% emotion. They don't make decisions off logic. So then we have to ask a question to pull out more emotion. Okay. I want you to see this. Okay. It's right here. They tell you, oh, I would buy a new home for my kids. I'd probably quit my job. Okay. But you being able to do that, because it's one thing to do that rather than just think about doing it. But you being able to do that, what would that do for you personally? See how I paused? You want to say, what would that do for you personally? Boring. Okay, you being able to actually do those things rather than just think about doing them, what would that do for you personally? Okay, see, that hits home. It's a question that pulls out their emotion, their pain. It gets them to attach to wanting to solve the problem and getting the results they want. Okay, so let's say if they said this, oh my gosh, that would relieve so much stress. Right now, I don't have any time for my kids. If I could leave my job, that'd be so great. Okay, help me understand. How long have you had that stress in your life? That's a probing question that gets them to see how long they've had the problem, how long they've suffered through the stress. Do you see how we're helping them relive the pain? The more you help them relive the pain, the bigger the gap, the more likely they are to buy. You can't do that. They're not going to buy because you don't know the right questions. You don't know how to do that. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's probably been 5 or 6 years since my 2 daughters were born. It tears me up inside not being able to see them more than a few hours a day. Okay, so having you making that money, so let you being able to make that money, being able to have that time with your 2 daughters, how do you see your life being different than it is now? See how we're pulling that out? Logical question allows them to see what their future is going to look like once the problems are solved and get what they want. They say, oh my gosh, it'd be so different. I don't even know. I'd have so much time. I would love that. How would it make you feel though? Another question. Now, this is a probing question here. That one is just optional. If they already opened up to your other probing question about what it would do for them personally, you don't want to over probe here by asking them how it would make them feel. That's too much. If they did not open up from that probing question, what would it do for them personally? You would then want to ask that here. I just want to remind you that. Oh, I'd feel like I'm finally their mom. I'd be there for them. I wouldn't be absent for life. Can I ask you something else though? Okay, but what are you going to do if you don't do anything about this and you just stay in the job and your same income away from your kids the next 5, 10, 15 plus years? Now that is a consequence question. See how that works? Okay, now I'm going to give you another example. All right, I'm going to give you an example if you sell B2B, completely different industry, but I'm going to show you the structure is very, very similar. Same structure, the questions have to be tweaked and reworded. Okay. So let's say in this example, you sell lead generation services to companies, a B2B selling environment, complex selling. And let's say your prospect is Keith, and he's told you that his company, he's a C-level executive. This is your first discovery call. He said that he's looking for a higher quality leads for their salespeople. Okay. You're going to notice it's the same structure, just the questions are reworded a little bit different. Okay. So before you started talking with us, were you out there looking for higher quality leads for your sales team, or what were you doing about getting a better lead quality? See, I'm asking that skepticism. Well, we started using a company that's done the prospect says, well, we started using a company that's done a somewhat decent job of getting our salespeople decent leads. Okay, can you tell me about this company that you're using now? Yeah, sure thing, Jeremy. We started using them about 9 months ago, and so far we've increased sales about 16%. I mean, we're happy about that for sure. Now, most prospects would be devastated by that. Oh my gosh, they're using a company. They're happy. They're up 16%. What am I going to do? Oh my God, no, I'm going to lose a sale. Nothing could be further from the truth. You just have to know the right questions to find out what their problems are. Okay, see how that works? Here's what you're going to do. Let me show you stealth mode here. That's good. Walk back for me for a second. You said a minute ago that they were doing a somewhat decent job. See what I just did? That's really good that you got a 16% increase. Go back for a second, though. You said that they're doing a somewhat decent job. What did you mean by somewhat? See what we caught there? See what they said there? Prospect says that the company they hired was doing a somewhat decent job. Most salespeople would miss that. What does somewhat decent mean? It means that they're not fully satisfied, right? They've got a problem there. Something's missing, okay? So I'm going to bring that up. That's really good. You guys are up 16% from that company. Now, you said a minute ago that they were doing a somewhat decent job. What did you mean by somewhat? Okay? That's an emotional trigger word. Somewhat decent triggers emotion. There's some emotion behind that. Here's what he's going to say. Well, our salespeople are selling more in the same sense. They're telling us that they're having to call more leads to make those sales. So our sales have increased, but we're having to generate a lot more leads to get that increase. So we're having to spend more money on leads. See what you just found out there? They're making more sales from this vendor, but they're spending a lot more money to do that. That's increased. Their bottom line's increased, but it might not have increased at all because they're having to spend way more money for the leads to even make those sales. Okay. Now you can probe off that by this. Okay. When you say more money, can you be more specific? See how most salespeople would have missed that. They'd be like, oh, you're spending more money. Oh, well, we can show you how to save money. And let me show you this. No. Stop. You need to pull out the specifics. What do they mean by that? Oh, hold on. When you say more money, can you be more specific by that? You have to get them to clarify how much money they're spending to help them realize that they have more than one problem. They want to get higher quality leads so their salespeople will make more sales. But another problem they have is they're spending too much money on those leads. Yeah, well, we're spending about 10% more, so we're still making more sales even after the increased marketing spend, but we'd really like to get that lead cost down. Okay, but getting that lead cost down, why so important to you now, though? See what I just did? Do you see how the rep is helping the prospect build urgency to do something now, not later? See how that works? Prospect says, well, it's important because our CEO wants us to have a net increased sales this year of 20%. And so far, we're only at 6%, and we're already 7 months into the year. Okay, so help me understand, John. If you don't get that 20% increase, would that have an impact on you? Why would I want to ask that question? Because I want to know what it's going to do for him personally if he doesn't get that 20% increase. Here's what he said. You know what? I think my whole department might get replaced. Okay. So you losing that job along with your associates, besides not having the job, what does that do to you personally by losing it? See how my voice gets more serious, more quiet, more calm? Okay. See how it gets more concerned, more empathy there? That's really important. You learn that tonality. Okay. You can't just be the same monotone speed the whole time. Oh my gosh, it would be devastating. I've got 2 young kids and my spouse to take care of. I get replaced. It'd be so hard for me to find this type of high-level position for several years. I don't know what I would do. Okay, so besides wanting the higher quality leads, what else are you looking for in a lead provider? Like what would be like your ideal criteria? Okay, see how we're getting them to think results-based thinking. Well, prospect says we want a more targeted lead so that when our salespeople call the leads, we know, they know who we are and why we're calling, right? Right now when they call, we have to remind the lead who we even are, that they responded to an ad because they just don't remember. So simply put, we just want more of a targeted lead. You say this. It's a probing statement. Okay, so the target leads are important to you. Or you can say, I sense that's important to you. It's just a probing statement. Prospect says, yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you're looking for in a lead provider company? See, I want to know what else they're looking for, not just that. Usually the first answer is just the surface of what they really want. Yeah, we also want someone who can get a hold of, that we can get a hold of if we have problems. Like right now, the company we use, it seems like we're just not a priority to them. What would most salespeople do? Oh, well, don't worry about it. We've got great customer service here, and we always make our clients a priority. Blah, 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 blah. You do that, they just pushed you over here. They don't trust you because every salesperson says that to them. In fact, the company they're with now that they don't like, who doesn't give them priority, said the same thing to them as well. So now they trust you less. You don't want to fall into that category. So I want to clarify what the hell they mean by that. I don't know what they mean by the company didn't make them a priority. So I want to say, hold on. What do you mean by you didn't feel like you were a priority? Or what do you mean by not a priority? You have to pull out that pain and help them expound on the problem to feel more pain. If you don't, you're losing so many damn sales. You don't know how much money you're losing every week because of this. If you're a business owner and your salespeople don't know these skills and everything else, because this is like 5% of the sales process I'm going through right now. If they miss all this, you're just like basically throwing $100 bills, like $1 million bills, $1,000 bills. It's not such a thing. You're literally throwing 100 bills down the garbage can that you would be making if they had these skills. Prospect says, well, when we have a problem, it seems like it takes them a day or 2 or 3 days to even get back to us. And then you say, probing statement, okay, so the support getting back to you is something that's important to you then. Yeah, probing statement. That implies that we already do that, right? Yeah, that's very important. Okay, so let's say that we're able to get you this higher quality, more targeted lead like we do with other clients. Besides just making more sales, what would that do for your sales team? Okay. So I repeat back what they want, more sales, targeted lead. What would that do for your sales team? Oh my gosh, if we could do that, like get more of a targeted lead, then I think we would get that 20% increase in sales like in the next 3 months, and it would really boost the sales team's morale and they wouldn't quit. You see, even when we probe on this we could even probe on this problem right here. He just said it would really boost the sales team's morale and they wouldn't quit. What do we just find out? They don't have targeted leads. They're spending way more money than they want to. The leads don't even know who they are when they're talking to them, and it's causing morale issues in the company, and salespeople are quitting. We just found out 5 problems in this category when they only thought they had 1 problem when they first started talking to us. No other salesperson could ever do that without asking those questions to help them expand on their problems. Now, their competitors found out 1 problem, but when they talk to you, you help them see that they had 5 problems. Which do you think is going to get the sale? Which do you think is going to get the sale even if your services are 10 or 20% more? You still will be, because you've helped them see they have 5 problems. Everybody else caused them to see that they only have 1 problem. They view you now as the expert, the trusted authority who's going to get them the results. They don't think about cost or price. They think about the results you can get them compared to anybody else. That's how you get them to think results-based thinking over price or cost-based thinking. So I'm not done here. Okay, so would a 20% increase in sales? What would a 20% increase in sales do for you though, personally? That's the emotion. Oh my gosh, it would take so much stress that I'm having. Stress? See how you can use 1 word? If it's an emotional word, you can say stress. You can say anxiety. Oh, it's causing me a lot of frustration. Frustration? That's like a question. See how you work that? See, the 1 word just sometimes can open up your prospects even more. Prospect says, yeah, since my CEO put that 20% increase on my shoulders, I'm having a hard time even sleeping at night. Then you're going to ask this. Okay, so besides the sleep, what's the stress doing to you? See, that pulls out even more pain. Okay, you have no idea. It's even causing me and my family problems because I'm always zoned out when I go home. I'm thinking about work all the time. Okay, so let's say that we're able to help you get that 20% increase like we do with other clients. How do you see your personal life being different than it is now? See how we're bringing out even more emotion? Or let's say if we're on a call with 4 people, let's say that we're able to help get you guys that 20% sales increase like we do with their other clients. How do you see this being different than it is now for the business? Or how do you see that benefiting the business the most? You're going to talk more about the business if you have multiple people on that call. This would be like a first call for your B2B, usually meeting with one person on the first call. Okay. Oh, it relieves so much stress, but more importantly, the CEO would be happy. I think he'd promote me to be possibly a partner of the firm. How would that make you feel? Wow, I'd get promoted. My family would be so happy. I'd be a dream. So can I ask you something else? So yeah, no problem. And then you'd go into your consequence question where you rip that emotion, you rip their objective state away from them by asking a consequence question. And it allows them to see, if they don't do anything about solving their problem, what the potential ramifications and consequences are. Okay, I hope that little example that I did scripted out for you from two completely different industries. And I gave you not only 3 questions to help your prospects think results-based thinking over price-based thinking. I think I gave you like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions, okay? Now, if you want to know more details about how you can sell more of your products and services, you want to know more details about our training products, like we've helped thousands of our clients in the last 2 years. We only have 3,400 some testimonials at this point. It's crazy. In the comment section, post hashtag NEPQ, post hashtag NEPQ in the comments section, and either me or Matt Ryder, our CEO, or someone on our team, maybe even Marco Cortese, our vice president, will message you more details about our training programs to see if we can help you as well. I hope that helped everybody. Tomorrow, I am going to go live in this Facebook group right at 3 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you turn on your notifications. So in the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, if you've not joined the Facebook group yet, because I think I'm live on YouTube here. I think we've got at least 15 or 20 people on YouTube, and then we've got 68 of you on here in the Facebook group live right now. If you're on YouTube and you haven't joined our Facebook group, I'm going to have a team member post the Sales Revolution Facebook group link here. You can join. We let you join for free. When you join, it's going to ask you a couple questions like what industry and what you sell. So we get data on what type of industries we have in this Facebook group. And then we will tag you, and my team or me or Matt, our CEO, or someone in our team will message you a free 30-minute training on how to prevent objections from happening on your sales calls. It's called Objection Prevention. You get that free, and you can message us more details if you want to learn more about what we do, if you want to sell more of your products and services. So tomorrow I'm going to go live at 3 p.m. Eastern in the Facebook group. I'm going to interview a client who lives over in Dubai. I'm not going to give you his name. He lives over in Dubai, who came to us 5 months ago. He was completely broke. He was making a couple $1,000s a month. Crazy. His wife didn't want him to invest in the training because they were so broke. He went against her, invested in the training. I don't know if the relationship was good, bad, or ugly, or what happened. She divorced him because of it. And now he's making 6 figures. Okay? If he would have took his spouse's advice, he'd making $2,000 a month. They would have been out on the street. Sometimes you have to make tough decisions to help you and your family if you want to get to the next level. He is now up over, I think, 11 or 12,000 a month in commissions. I think this month in August, he's already on. No, I think in July he made about 20,000 a month in commissions. He's only been in the training for 4 months. He just had a $20,000 commission month. 4 months ago, he was making $2,000 to $3,000 a month. When you learn the right skills, selling becomes very profitable. When you don't have the right skills, selling can be very, very hard. Doesn't have to be hard, though. You just have to learn the right skills. Okay, thanks, everybody. If you're on the YouTube channel, my team will post a Facebook group. Join here. You can join the Facebook group, Sales Revolution, for free. We're going to send you a 30-minute training on objection prevention. We'll DM it to you, so make sure you check your DMs for me or Matt, our CEO. And I'll see everybody tomorrow in the Facebook group. Turn on your notifications so you get notified that I'm going live. I will go live tomorrow, and we're going to break down his sales process and his sales structure, and he's going to give you some questions that's going to help you sell more of your products and services. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.